what happens when you stop drinking alcohol and you just can't stop judging people because of their alcohol use? I'm Kevin O'Hara for alcoholmastery.com and habitsunplugged.com. We're trying to help people to stop drinking alcohol, to stay away from alcohol, and to live the best possible versions of themselves once they have that cracked. If you want to subscribe to the channel, if you haven't already, click on the subscribe link below, and please give us a like. Click that like button to give us a thumbs up, because it all helps. If you want us to help other people, if you want to spread the word, then do any of those things, please. So this is from Miles Jackson. This was an email I got, or it was actually a comment on YouTube. And Miles says, after a few years of quitting, I found I don't even consider that I've stopped, but I get nice reminders of the fact when I see past associates that I used to drink, argue, laugh with, still falling over and begging myself and others for a quid for more drinks, so they're looking for more money for alcohol. I can't stop myself judging these folks because my mind is in such a different place, and I see drinking alcohol on any level as bad. Now, alcohol can lead down some really dark situations and places, and I would advise anybody, even if drink doesn't cause them problems, to actually stop, because it will still tweak their brain power so that it optimizes their life. It just holds everyone back from being who they are supposed to be, in my honest opinion. Thanks, Kevin, for your videos. You've helped me for years. So far, I'm always drawing on your advice, and there's always something new to learn. I'm glad that you're finding the videos so helpful, Miles. Listen, for me, I think I've got to a stage where I just don't consider this to be my problem anymore. I think when you stop drinking first, you really come from a position of weakness, because you're still in that drinker's mind, and it takes a while before your brain just changes from being a drinker to a non-drinker, and that's part of the problem. Because when you first start this journey, you're still thinking like a drinker. It's very difficult to get your mind to think about it from any other perspective. So when you go out, when you're meeting your friends, when you're socializing, in most situations in our life, in our culture, in our society, alcohol is always going to be a big part of it. So it's like having a wound, and every time you go out and you have a drink, or every time you go out and you once you stop drinking, obviously, and you see other people using alcohol, it's like having a wound and somebody just digging into that wound a little bit, if you get what I mean. So you feel the pain a little bit more, and it's not because you want to go back, it's because you still have the habitual drinking, alcohol use pathways in your head. So when you get further and further into this journey, you just to backtrack a little bit and go back to that earlier point, when you do see this, when you're in that position where you're feeling a little bit of pain because you see other people drinking, you do want other people to stop, and you want other people to stop. I mean, I just wish that all the alcohol was banned all of a sudden, that nobody was allowed to drink it anymore. Because all my friends wouldn't be able to drink it, and their lives would be healthier and much more productive. But mostly because I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to see alcohol around. I didn't want to see that temptation. It was tempting in the first days, regardless of what your emotions are and how much you feel that you can do this and you're going to do this. It's still tempting. It's still something which is going to feed your mind with that undercurrent of, don't worry about it. It's, moderation is okay. This is okay. That's okay. Just one won't matter. All that kind of underneath, that subconscious verbal, subconscious mental speech that you're giving to yourself, But like I say, the further you get away from that, the more distance you get, the kinder you are to yourself about your own past drinking, and the more you just don't give a shit about alcohol anymore, so it doesn't become a problem. Like I say, when when I'm talking to clients, when I'm talking to people from Habits Unplugged, or when I'm doing videos for Alcohol Mastery, it's just something that it comes up, it comes up for me all the time. Alcohol comes up for me, so maybe that has something to do with it, that I'm speaking about alcohol all the time and I've become immune to the influences of it. But I don't think so. I think mostly you just become immune to those influences over time. So when you're closer to stopping drinking alcohol, it is effective on you. People, it's new to other people as well. A lot of people might have seen you doing this before, and I got a lot of ribbon, a lot of gentle ribbon. A lot of it was, a lot of sort of sarcastic jokes and stuff, but it's only in the beginning. Once you get past a certain period, they run out of steam, these people. It becomes old. Nobody's laughing anymore. You're the one that's not drinking anymore. You're the one that's, I remember going in and watching football, and I'd buy a pint of orange juice and a couple of bottles of water when we walked in there. So I think it was €4 we'd spend. Before that, it would be closer to €30 I'd be spending on alcohol. And you see the lads, and they'd be spending at least 15, €20 on their drinks. So, once they see the reality of it, that you're not going back on it, then it becomes it becomes a part of the past for them, and they're not gonna, just doesn't matter anymore. So take the ribbon, take the piss taking, as they say. But it's most certainly brain effective. When you're drinking alcohol, it affects your thoughts, it affects your behaviors, it affects your actions because of that. It affects everything that you do, everything that you think, and that gradually comes back. Once you stop drinking, your brain will start to function differently. It will think about it like it just starts to function cleaner than it used to. So clean brain means that you're thinking clearer, and your actions are definitely going to get a lot more they're more aimed towards the goals that you're going towards. So the only time I'm around alcohol now is really when I'm at home, when I'm with other people. You're only responsible for you. You're only responsible for you stopping drinking alcohol. So it's we feel like we want to say to the people, especially the people that we love, especially to our friends, stop doing this. But at the same time, it's their responsibility to do with their body what they're going to do with the body. It's if they want to stop, you're never going to force them to stop unless they want to. And like I say, it's their body, it's their responsibility to do it. Think about when before you even started this whole journey, where you were in your own mind. When I think back to myself, I was really stubborn. When I think back to my thoughts and my actions, and if anyone said anything about my drinking, my dad used to always say to me, he'd say things like, be careful of your liver, and be careful of your drinking too much. Be careful of your digestion, be careful of your mind. He'd find different ways of saying the same thing to me. Now, he was a drinker, and he used to over-drink himself, but I think I used to sort of double what he would drink. Mind you, he was in his 70s at the time, so I think by that stage you get a bit more sensitive to it. But I'm just saying that if you look back at your own self, at the stubbornness that you had, when you're listening to all the propaganda around you, you're firing propaganda at yourself because you don't want to feel stupid, by continuously putting the poison into your body. So you're all the time feeding yourself the right kinds of thoughts to make yourself feel better about your own alcohol use. We've got cultural propaganda, we've got propaganda on the TVs, we've got it's everywhere. So this is all entering your mind, and this is all creating that culture, creating that stubbornness in your mind that you're not going to stop. And how many people really don't want to stop? And if that's some of your friends, I can look at some of my family members, and I know that there's going to be a lot of them that will never stop, or they won't stop until they get to a situation where the alcohol has caused a lot of damage to them. So yeah, I'm in a great place now. I'm almost 8 years away from alcohol, and I feel great about myself, about my life, and about where I'm going. And I'm sure you feel the same way yourself. You're saying it. So, think about that and think about progressing your own mind. I mean, I think it's a natural thing to feel empathy towards people, because you know where they're coming from. You've been there in that spot, and you wish you could say something to them that will turn them around. But there is nothing. There is a gentle pressure that you can apply to people, but it takes a long period of time, and only the people that you care about the most are worthy of that. Otherwise it's not your job. Your job is to look after yourself. Your job is to make the best possible version of yourself. So anyway, thanks for your comment. I really appreciate it. If anyone is ready to get help to stop drinking alcohol, there's a book down below called Habits Unplugged, 10 Steps to Stop Drinking Alcohol for Good. It's from our program Habits Unplugged, and just click on the link down below. It'll take you to the website. Leave your first name and email address, download the book, you'll get it straight away. Open up the book, have a look at it, and just follow some of the principles in there. I'm guaranteeing that you will not be disappointed. It will help you to put your mind on a different track, and help you to think differently about quitting drinking alcohol. But you have to read it. If you don't, there's no point. So listen, take care of yourself, keep the alcohol out of your mouth. I'm Kevin O'Hara for alcoholmastery.com. Onwards and upwards. Bye now.